Krishna.
So we're here tucked away in an apartment, and it is the day before Janmashtami, at least here in New York. Janmashtami is on Saturday the 16th. In some places they're celebrating on Friday, which is today, but we're celebrating tomorrow. So,
But in England it is also tomorrow. I checked with my parents. And India.
Okay. We have confirmation. So everyone should be preparing for the appearance of Lord Shri Krishna.
Aye.
Shri Krishna Janmashtami ki jai. Okay, so Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna, as we may well know. So when we read Bhagavatam, we connect and develop our relationship, personal relationship with Krishna. So we're going to do that now. Hare Krishna.
Canto 4, chapter 25, text 54.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Text 54. Of the many inhabitants of this city, there are two persons named Nirvak and Peshakrit. Although King Paranjan was the ruler of citizens who possessed eyes, he unfortunately used to associate with these blind men. Accompanied by them, he used to go here and there and perform various activities. This is a reference to the arms and legs of the living entity. The two legs do not speak and they are blind. If a person simply trusts his legs to take in walking, he is likely to fall into a hole or bump into something. Thus, led by the blind legs, one's life may be placed in jeopardy. Interesting. If you trust your legs, you're going to fall into a hole or bump into something. It's interesting because sometimes it's like you do that, although I'm not trying to contradict Prabhupada or anything, but you know, if you know your surroundings well enough, you don't need to see anything, if you know what I mean. Even though it might be dark and you come home or you ain't got your glasses on, you kind of like know how to navigate. But I'm not saying that in a way to be cheeky because it's like, oh, I'm challenging the speaker. But
it seems that Prabhupada's saying if you trust your legs alone, without using your intelligence, like my legs will take me, and the point being, if you trust your senses in general, without having them under the control of the intelligence and the mind and like that.
All right.
Now, I'm not sure we read 53. 53 was highlighted in mine, I think.
Was it?
I thought so. Well, I don't know. I got confused when I turned the page and went back. Did we read 53 about the rectum and that gate is meant for death, and the friend is labdaka, which is greed? Yeah, I don't think we did.
All right, so let's go back. You want to read it?
Well, maybe we finish 54. I don't think they have to be done in order, so finish 54.
All right, that's all I got to say.
You promise? See? Okay, so we're going to read the second paragraph of text 54. Then we're going to go back to 53 and we'll discuss. Of the senses that are working, the hands and legs are very important, but they have no eyes to see. This means that in the hands and legs there are no holes. In the head there are many holes, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. But lower down in the arms and legs there are no holes. Consequently, the arms and legs have been described as andha, blind. Although the living entity has many holes in his body, he nonetheless has to work with his hands and arms. Although the living entity is the master of many other senses, when he has to go somewhere, do something, or touch something, he has to use his blind legs and hands. it blows me away just the way that it's kind of presented, or that someone has taken time to think about these things. So all the holes are in the head. The body is a machine. Maximum numbers of holes are in the head. The only other 2 holes are below. And the arms and legs are basically blind. And if you just trust them, they could get you into trouble. But if you want to move around, you have to depend on the legs and the arms. So it's really an interesting combination. Somehow it reminds me of the story Prabhupada tells of the lame man and the blind man. And that if the blind man, because he's blind, he can't see where to go, and therefore even his legs and arms they'll take him somewhere, but he will fall into the ditch. But if he meets with a lame man who has eyes, then he can pick up the lame man, and the lame man can direct him to where to go, and then the lame man gets moved, and the blind man gets kind of to see. So Prabhupada talked about that, I think, with in relation to India and America. And he said America is blind, but has lots of facility, money, so many opportunities, whereas India is lame in that sense, but spiritually has like divine vision. So if the two work together, then there can be great success.
Okay. Text 53. Another gate on the western side was known as Nirti. Paranjan used to go through this gate to the place known as Vaishasha, accompanied by his friend Ludaka. Purport. This is a reference to the rectum. The rectum is supposed to be situated on the western side of the eyes, nose and ears. This gate is especially meant for death. When an ordinary living entity abandons his present body, he passes through the rectum and is therefore painful.
Oh, we did read this.
Yeah, we did actually, because how can you forget that?
Yeah. Okay, well let's go on then. No problem, we just want to make sure we cover everything.
Text 55. Sometimes he used to go to his private home with one of his chief servants, a mind. He was named Vishushina. At that time, illusion, satisfaction, and happiness used to be produced from his wife and children. According to the Vedic conclusion, one's self is situated within the heart. As stated in Vedic language, Riddhi Ayam Atma Pratishtita, the self is situated within the heart. In the material condition, however, the spirit soul is covered by material qualities, namely goodness, passion, and darkness. And within the heart, these 3 qualities react. For instance, when one is in goodness, he feels happiness. When one is in passion, he feels satisfaction through material enjoyment. And when one is in darkness, he feels bewilderment. All these activities are of the mind, and they function on the platform of thinking, feeling, and willing.
Seems like we're all on the platform of the mind. At the moment, your mind, which is incommunicative.
I've got nothing to say.
Okay, well that's clear. Okay. Yeah, it's very interesting. Again, the analogy. Paranjan used to go to his private home, and of course, this should get explained in the purport. Used to with his chief servants, the mind, who was named Vishuchina. Illusion, satisfaction, and happiness. Prabhupada compares goodness, passion, and ignorance. So goodness means that one is conditioned to or experience happiness if you're in the mode of goodness. Passion means you get satisfaction when you get some material enjoyment. And the mode of ignorance is simply illusion, because one is actually in ignorance, so you're bewildered like that. Okay, so next paragraph. When the living entity is encircled by wife, children, and home, he acts on the mental plane. Sometimes he is very happy. Sometimes he is very much satisfied. Sometimes he is not satisfied. And sometimes he is bewildered. Bewilderment is called moha, illusion. Illusion by society, friendship, and love. The living entity thinks that this so-called society, friendship, and love, nationality, community, etc. will give him protection. He does not know that after death he will be thrown into the hands of a very strong material nature that will force him to accept a certain type of body according to his present work. That is one longer. I thought it was all one sentence. This body may not even be a human body. Thus, the living entity's feeling of security in this life in the midst of society, wife, and friendship is nothing but illusion. All living entities encaged in various material bodies are illusioned by the present activities of material enjoyment. They forget their real business, which is to go back home, back to Godhead. Nice purport. So Prabhupada mentions society, friendship, love, nationality, and community, and how we have a tendency to take shelter of these ideologies or ideas or concepts even, you know. And then, what was it, Prabhupada? He doesn't know that after death he will be thrown into the hands of a very strong material nature that will force him to accept a certain body. So we think that these things will give us some sort of shelter, but at the end of life, you know, we just wind up coming back again, and we get another body, and we might be a different nationality. We might be the nationality we were fighting against and protesting against in our next life, you know, whatever it might be. Say you're a, you know, whatever.
They don't get political.
Let's not get political. I was going to say, let's say you're a zebra or a zebra, and you're protesting against elephants. And then in your next life, you come back as an elephant. You don't even remember that you were protesting against zebras, or that you were protesting elephants as a zebra before.
All right.
Does that make sense?
No.
Oh.
It does. Right, final paragraph. Everyone who is not in Krishna consciousness must be considered to be in illusion. One's so-called feelings of happiness and satisfaction resulting from material things are also illusions. Actually, neither society, friendship, love, nor anything else can save one from the onslaught of the external energy. They're so true, which is symptomized by birth, death, old age, and disease. It's so true. To get even one living entity out of the illusory condition is very difficult. Therefore, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, devi Gunamai Mama Maya Durakaya Mame Vadyante Maya Tarantite. This divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Therefore, unless one surrenders completely at the lotus feet of Krishna, he cannot get out of the entanglement of the three modes of material nature.
There you go, and there you have it.
Yeah, that's how it is. Because, every time you look in the mirror, or every time you got a birthday or anything, you actually think, oh my Lord, you know? It's like this vehicle which is, you know, if you think about it, because that says it's used the word yantra, vehicle, that's how Prabhupada coins it in the Bhagavad Gita. And I was thinking, in one lifetime, how many vehicles in one lifetime have we used? Trains, buses, purchasing cars, you know, how many cars do you get through? Or
bicycles, skateboards.
Yeah, I used to skateboard and that, so I did. So, but I've only had this one vehicle, this particular, which is this body, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
In this life, and getting me here, there, and everywhere. So now I'm coming to the end of my life, and it's quite old, and it's getting worn out and a bit decrepit actually.
Wow. Okay.
So,
You might need to end this talk and call someone professional.
and then you realise, okay, so you've been on this path for X amount of years, you better do some surrendering. Because the vehicle, you know, like if you're in a car and the wheels falling off and the windscreen wiper and the indicator don't work, and you're like, oh my God, you know, I should have learned how to swim or run or whatever, because this vehicle's going to let me down in a minute. What am I going to do? So that's it, really.
Yeah, definitely the vehicle will let us down. Yeah, therefore, unless one surrenders completely at the lotus feet of Krishna, he cannot get out of the entanglement of three modes. In this verse, devi gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mamaiva yak prapadyante mayam itam taranti te. One of my favorite verses, 7:14 Bhagavad Gita. And yeah, this Prabhupada speaks in the purport that this word devi gunamayi mama maya duratya gunas, that the guna devi this divine energy, a gunamayi of mind, this divine energy of mind, guna, consists of the three modes of material natures. But in the purport, Prabhupada says like a rope. The three modes are like a rope, and you know, like if you have a braid or you have a rope, you have to tie three strands together. And he says that in this way, the material energy through the three modes of material nature is tying us down, binding us. And the only way to cut it is by taking shelter of Krishna. And then Krishna makes it very easy for us to cross beyond it. Yeah, that's, phew, you really have to take shelter. Beautiful. Okay, thank you all very much. We'll conclude there. Please read the Srimad Bhagavatam. Have an amazing Janmashtami.
Yeah.
And please share anything you'd like to share about Janmashtami. And, you know, the goal of all the rules and regulations is to always remember Krishna and to never forget him. So, wishing you all the best.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.